You know, I gotta say, as far as Super Bowl predictions go, the fact that both teams I picked are both 0-1 to start the season, not to mention one of them's now gonna be without their star player for a few weeks. So, looks like that pick is, going swimmingly. But I mean, hey, it's 1 week. There's plenty of regular season left. Plenty, plenty. So let's get on with this video and have some fun. Roll that intro. Hello everybody and welcome to the week 2 video of the 2024 NFL season and my prediction picks. I'm your host Catherine of the Blind Canadian Cat YouTube channel. I was thinking about introducing Chihiro, and Channel and Chihiro just kind of came out. Hi Chihiro, thank you for your positive thoughts. And yeah, welcome to week 2, where week 1 saw an overall interesting dynamic. In going with, here Chihiro, hold this, 10-6 straight up, 8-8 against the spread, and I just noticed this too while I was setting this up, 13-3 on the totals. I win a good 13-3 on over-unders, calling a lot of the unders, the low-scoring games, and just being shocked. It was an interesting thing. I almost took the under on the Monday night game, and I'm like, you know what? Because, like, I was looking at it, and I'm looking back at it now, like, I don't know why I took the Jets against the spread, or to cover. The Niners were clearly a better team, and without Christian McCaffrey, apparently, they still are a better team. Which, once again, proves that any running back could thrive in that offense. Just saying. But, 10-6 straight up, that's kind of what you expect. It's a feel out. You're feeling out teams. I was low on the Saints to open the season, so I'm like, you know what, Carolina might have something. I didn't really care for the Giants or Vikings, so I'm like, you know what, Giants start off with the win and then fail the rest of the season. But, look at that. You can be proven wrong. And see, now with 1 week in, we can gauge teams. And yes, plenty will be off to a slow start. Bengals always start slow. A couple of the teams, it's a gauging. Week 1, you gauge teams. You learn about them. You figure out, and you see where you go from there. And we did learn a lot about some week 1 teams. Hello folks, just checking in the middle of this video to say something. It's Thursday morning, and I definitely have a cold, but I just learned something, so I want to share it with you. Justin's oh-so-legendary rule of 4 actually did not hit in week 1. It was just Pittsburgh, New England, and Dallas. Only those 3 hit. Every other betting favorite won their game. So, even through my sickly stature, haha, suck it, Justin, and your rule of 1-4. Damn, I'm not mentally well. And let that reflect by the fact I went 10-6 and he went 8-8. So who's the real winner? Probably the sick bitch right now. Yippee! Yeah, back to your video recorded forever ago. So, without further ado, let's actually talk about these games. And I'll go with it again. I'm just looking down my list right here just to see, what games we could realistically talk about. I go off of vibes. What makes sense? What doesn't? I don't want to talk about divisional games because, again, anything can happen in those divisional games. So I think the first game I want to discuss, 2 0-1 teams, the Jaguars and the Browns. Now, initially going into this season, I figured this would be a game the Browns would dominate. Watching last week, I have many questions for the Cleveland Browns. But at this point, I'm not convinced with Jacksonville either. Yeah, you started out hot, but then kind of just choked away that game to Miami. But I go back to you. Is that Miami just being off to a slow start? Because you got to remember, last year, even that great team Miami during the regular season had a plethora of games where they just started out slow. They had a game last year where Carolina was up 14-0 on them, and then they blew 30 points up behind their backs so quickly. So you're gauging teams. Jacksonville, I don't really have a lot to say about them. But with Cleveland, it's like there feels like it's gonna like a team that's just imploding on the inside. They're just falling apart before our very eyes already before the season kicks off. And now there's more outside noise because Deshaun Watson's a fucking moron. So now there's more outside noise and a bunch of shit going on there. This team's a mess. And who knows what's going to happen there. I don't know. Deshaun Watson should be sent to prison at this point. I don't care. Like, I don't want to see this dude anymore. This is just insanity. That more shit's coming out about him. Insanity. So it's I think there's drama there. And for that case, it's one of the reasons I'm going to lean Jacksonville. I was going to see them, even if I expected Dallas to beat the crap out of Cleveland anyway. And I would have been like, you know what, I'll come back around. Browns get the shirt back together. They can beat Jacksonville. But they got a bunch of outside noise. Jacksonville, you know, just clean up some shit and maybe you don't lose to Miami. I don't know. I don't know if Jacksonville just got lucky, if Miami just was being a problem. I don't know what it was. But looking back and forth at it, I was going Browns most of the way, but now with how that game went against Dallas, kind of how this fan base is already like, what the hell is going on with this team? And now more shit about Deshaun Watson. Juan Thornhill's on IR, I just saw. I don't know what to expect from Cleveland anymore. This team's going to fall down a drain really fucking quick here. So I'm taking Jacksonville. Because, you know, it's less drama. Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence. There's not really much to discuss about him. They have weapons. That team looks good. Brian Thomas Jr. looks good. And there's not really much I can say, but I don't know. Cleveland looks like a hot mess, so I don't want to touch that. That being said, 3.5, that hook scares me because it's still relying on me to have faith and trust in Jacksonville, which I'm not there yet. I'm simply not there yet. So I'm going to give the Browns that benefit out of the hook. If for nothing, that pass rush. Because Myles Garrett's still that dude, and I think, and you know, Zadarius Smith is still respectable. JOK is a great linebacker, and you know, great secondary. The Cleveland Browns have a great defense, even without Juan Thornhill. So that hook scares me. I'm taking Cleveland on the point, but I think Jacksonville wins this game. Cleveland's got way too much drama, and I don't even want to know how that's gonna go down. I don't. So I'm just staying away from that one. And another one, here, I'll just say one more other thing about a different game. One game where I thought I feel confident picking in, but now I'm hesitant. I don't know if it's just straight up or a spread thing or what it is. But this 49 rematch, this Seattle and New England. New England, okay, don't get me wrong. I've always been a big week 1 Bengals are going to happen. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They're going to make this harder than it needs to be. Though that being said, I wasn't expecting New England to win that game. And to have like a firm control throughout the whole thing. Yeah, they only scored 16 points, but like I wasn't expecting them to have like a firm control. Like, Simpson had fumble problems out the wazoo. This just New England? Which, I mean, this could be an indictment of Cincinnati having bigger problems throughout the season. But, you know, I'm going under the concoction that it's just week 1. Now, the good thing about starting Jacoby for New England is Jacoby is smart. He's not going to make a bad play. He's got Alex Smith in him, you know. He's going to be a conservative passer. Not to mention New England's weapons in general are inconsistent. Ramondre Stevenson's going to run the ball well. Just block Rammy, he'll do his thing. But the weapons, you don't know a lot about them yet, so it's going to be still inconsistent. But Seattle, I don't know what the fuck happened with it. How do you give up 2 safeties in one game? Seattle's got some things going on with them, and that game was a lot closer than it needed to be. I wasn't expecting Seattle to like dominate or blow out, but I think even with how weird Bo Nix's numbers look, this game doesn't feel like a dominant Seattle win. It didn't feel like, Seattle was miles better. It felt like they were marginally better. And I don't know how to feel with that. So it's one of those. Do I think Seattle's better than New England? Yes. Do I think Mike McDonald will be a better head coach than Jared Mayo? Probably. Is it enough to give them 3.5? I do think Seattle wins this game. But with the way the Patriots are smart, and the way I don't see Seattle giving freebies, I don't know where to gauge this team. Could New England win? They probably could. It's a back and forth tug of war game here, where you're not really sure what to expect. But that being said, overall, I think I am going to still lean Seattle, and at 3.5, I think I will still take it. I wonder if Seattle's drama with the safeties on the 1-yard line last week are either a protective measure or a what's, I don't know, literary term of foreshadowing what's going to happen in this game. Because, interesting of note, the last few Seattle-New England games have all ended on that 1-yard line. They have. We can talk about the Super Bowl, obviously, but there was that one game, I want to say it was 2016? Or, I think so, 2016. They played each other in New England. Patriots were on the 1-yard line, could not get in the end zone. Next time they played, you have the Cam Newton-led Patriots. They get to the 1-yard line. Cam thinks, yeah, you know what? Game on the line, one play to win it. I'm going to dive in myself. Couldn't get there. These 1-yard lines, it means something to Seattle, New England, and I think a game like this comes down to it. And with that, you need a touchdown to win in these scenarios. So I think for a Seattle win, 3.5 is fine. Now, if this was like a 7 or a 6.5, I wouldn't touch it. I would have probably leaned more New England. But at 3.5, these games tend to go needing a touchdown to win. And I think Seattle's going to win, so they need a lead of at least 4. Seattle 3.5. I think that works just fine here. I think that's pretty simple enough. Texans at 6.5, I feel like should be a lot bigger. Because I don't trust this Bears team. That defense and special teams saved their ass against Will Levis, who choked the game away. That's all that was. So, whatever. But going into it, these are going to be my predictions here. I like the Bills over the Dolphins. Yeah, but Josh Allen's been basically playing the throw his body around type of game, which I hope he's built up some muscle on that, because you're going to get hurt real quick if he keeps playing like that. I'm just saying, he's going to take a funky hit, and something's going to tighten up, or he's going to get concussed. Something's going to happen, and it's going to be hell. So, yeah. But this Miami team didn't convince me of much of anything. And Buffalo's going to run through you whether you like it or not. So I like the Bills here. Cowboys love the Saints. Good job, Saints. The only thing you convinced me with that 47-point performance is that Carolina's probably going to compete for the number 1 overall pick again this year. That's the only thing you've convinced me. Lions, Bucks. Lions were alright, and they did what they needed to do, but I don't know how impressed I was completely. And, Tampa, yeah, you blew out a shitty Commanders team, but I'm excited to see what Tampa does. So I think this game stays within a touchdown. Niners blow out the Vikings. I feel like 6.5 could be a lot bigger considering what they did without Christian McCaffrey to the Jets, but c'est la vie. Chargers over the Panthers. This line of 6.5 makes me think the Chargers are going to fuck this up some way, just because I've watched the Chargers long enough. They're going to find some way to fuck this up. But I'll take it. Ravens 9.5. If J.K. Dobbins can run for 135 yards in this Raiders defense, motherfucking Derrick Henry better be getting 25 carries at 150. Otherwise, there is some game plan errors in this in this organization. What the hell? That's probably going to come back to bite me, but I like it. I'm taking it. I'm rolling with it. Any to beat Green Bay, no Jordan Love. Sorry. Meh. Jets over Titans, I have no faith in Tennessee. Commanders over Giants, Giants are hot, steamy garbage. I thought about Cardinals here, but I'm going Rams for the sake of, the Rams put up a better fight than I would expect them to without Aaron Donald. Cooper Kupp being on IR is going to be Puka Nacua being on IR is going to be interesting. But Cooper Kupp's probably just going to remind us who he is, and I have faith in Cooper Kupp to be good. So, rolling with it. Pittsburgh over Denver. Pittsburgh can win games with only field goals, so why not? I trust Justin Fields more than Bo Nix right now. Texans blow out the Bears. Eagles blow out the Falcons. Falcons, I was going to pick against anyway for Monday night, but after that Week 1 performance, and yeah, TJ Watt, but after that Week 1 performance, I am back to Tampa winning this division. Again, we'll have to wait a couple weeks, see where we're at, but I'm expecting Sunday night and Monday night to be full of blowouts. I'm expecting shit storms. And so, yeah, those are the games. We'll peek over into fantasy. Across my 6 leagues, I went 1-5. Not a great start to the fantasy season. And 0-3 in the big name leagues, in the LOA, in the Progs League, and Chris's Auntie and Co. League. Which is crazy because I think I was favored in all 3 of those games too, but it happens. It happens. 1-5 to start. Fantasy's not won or lost in Week 1, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. One note thing, I'm too lazy and forgot to record this or whatever, so I won't do this video. But I'm going to put this out here now just because this is my little claim to fame braggery I'm going to do. Justin does his live streams. Love my friend Justin to death. He's an amazing person, and I love watching his pick videos. Did a thing where he took Denver as an upset team over Seattle. And I'm like, that's insane. Bo Nix is going to look bad because Mike McDonald's a great defensive mind, going to turn that defense around. And, yeah, Bo Nix is going to look really bad in Week 1. And I don't have the numbers on me now, but those passing numbers definitely weren't beautiful. And he threw a really bad pick that even the announcer, commentator called it. So, like, I don't know why I'm slapping my hand so much, but he called it, so it's one of those, I felt like Seattle over Denver was an easy pick. To the point I told Justin, like, hey, I hate Week 1 Bengals so much that I would rather pick New England to upset Cincinnati than I would pick Denver to upset Seattle. And not that I'm right, but I was right. So I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm talking about. That being said, Justin's probably going to wipe the floor with me on the next couple of weeks on shit I say. So I'm taking my Week 1 victory, and I am running with it. Running with it, bitch! But that's all for me today. Thank you all for tuning in. The video's going to be a little shorter. Yippee! Follow me on my socials. Canadian Cat CP on Twitter. Blind Canadian Cat on Instagram. I haven't streamed in like 4 months, and for those who have seen my streams, me and Subleaf have been doing a thing. So that's why I'm streaming, just for her to see it. It's not an actual stream. So apologies for those who've been paying attention to that, but just something me and River have been doing. And hop into Discord. Trying to get that more active with the death of Coconut Wall now. It's become slightly more of a hangout spot. Well, I mean, heck, come in, chat about sports, chat about other things. Always looking for some fun conversation. Here, I guess I'll throw in one more thing too. Cat Quag, Rice, and the dog. After Week 1, I made a post on Twitter, but I can drop them here right now for you as well. After Week 1, Subleaf went 13-3, Isaac went 11-5, I went 10-6, as you know, and Amanda 9-7. And nothing has ever won on Week 1. So let's do it again next time. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you in the next episode. Choose peace, accept love, and have big trust. Goodbye, everyone.